Ladies and gentlemen, mutants and non-mutants, I am back, the comic outlaw who's been surfing this galaxy and that, going from multiverse to multiverse, and I bring you a new story. Number 3 of Batman and the Ninja Turtles. Haha, let's get into it, shall we? It's been a while since we've done a little bit of this and that, but your boy travels, so what can I say? I love the cover, I love the art, and we're going to be going right into it right now. It's a wonderful story. It's a mix actually by DC and IDW, I believe. And we're starting off in Gotham with the Penguin, of course, the evil Shredder. And Shredder is, of course, making his plans. He's been kidnapping scientists, rounding them up as well as equipment, using Cobblepot and his connections in Gotham to basically get this done, ferret out the scientists, and get the other parts they need. Cobblepot is nothing if a great fixer. And, of course, Shredder is flanked by the Foot Clan. And it seems like the Penguin seems to be trying to assert some authority, but of course Shredder just shrugs him off. Because Cobblepot is better as a secondary villain. He usually has or works for someone. As for a time he was working for Batman as a pseudo-informant. But that's another story. Now, of course, they are kidnapping these scientists, figuring out where they are, torturing them if need be to get information, as well as other people, basically doing what the Foot does. And of course, out of puff of smoke, they like using the smoke effect a lot in this. Batman appears out of nowhere, and he makes quick work of the two ninjas, and also gets the information he needs from the civilian. Now they're constructing what Shredder refers to as the portal. Anyone that's familiar with the Ninja Turtles or any kind of run knows that this portal is more than likely going to lead to Dimension X, where therein lies an army of huge rockmen and evil brain creatures determined on smashing this universe as well as the others. The Cranes. But, as always, the Turtles show up, meddling in Shredder's affairs. And it's funny because Cobblepot first blames the damn bat, and it's not the bat. It's the Turtles. I love how Shredder just seems to get all mad when the Turtles show up, and of course they're going to. And Leo, of course, drops one of his best lines, and they jump in. And it's time for the totally awesome team-up of not just the Turtles, but Batman as well. Haha, and this is what we've all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. Gotham's Crusader fighting with the Fab Four, the Sewers. Let's get ready to rumble. And as the Foot come barreling down, the Turtles and Batman are ready with superior fighting skills and such. All the gizmos that everything has to offer. And now, it's interesting, we're going to go back 2.5 hours earlier, where he actually left a tracker on them from the last encounter. He's been tracking them through the sewers, and then he's noticed they're taking a very familiar route, and then all of a sudden they ended up somewhere where they shouldn't be. The cave. The Batcave. They've entered the sanctum of Batman. And of course, Michelangelo's just having a great time riding the dinosaur like there's no tomorrow. Everyone's checking out all of Batman's little gadgets, gizmos. Donatello is in heaven at the computer, of course. That's just Donnie for you. And I love how everyone just seems to keep their unique personality in this. Great storytelling. And as Raph and Leo have, of course, one of their trademark discussions, Batman shows up out of nowhere, ready to rumble, and asking what they're doing in his home. Batman's not a big fan of people dropping into his home. He's not a very social person, believe me. I know Bruce personally. He is not a man to be bothered at home. But anyways, he throws Raph at one of the cars, and the fight is about to get off until cooler heads prevail, and they begin to talk. They begin to talk about what's happening, who's really in charge, and that it's not them that's been committing the robberies, it's Shredder. And of course, Splinter actually goes a long way in actually explaining this to Batman, since Splinter is more calm and has more of a fatherly demeanor. He explains the whole story. Shredder, the mutants, Dimension X, the soldiers. The problem with opening that portal and bringing all that into Earth would be the destruction of not just Gotham, not just New York, but the entire world. Now there's a weird eerie sound, and then there's a shotgun blast, and of course Alfred standing there with his old trusty 12 gauge, ready to rock and roll. But of course, again, cooler heads prevail, Alfred's seen some pretty strange things over his years, so this doesn't really shock him too much. And of course, Batman, of course, does his little planning. They show up, they start beating up the Foot. Of course, they're just taking them out like there's no tomorrow. I mean, these guys are just pretty much red shirts at this point. Little Star Trek reference. You don't know what that means? Google it. Anyways, they're taking them out, no problem. Shredder, of course, always has a backup plan. And it usually has something to do with explosives. Kaboom! The machine blows up and it starts a fire. And it's a wonderful distraction. It's just classic Shredder. It's what Shredder does. If Shredder can't have it, then no one will. And he'll try to destroy you with it. And of course, Shredder always has a plan B. And as he makes his escape, Splinter follows him and he threatens Splinter. And he's going to crush him at the heel. Raph jumps for him, trying to save his father. The only father he's ever known. And Shredder slices at him, cutting him deep. Having Raph drop his size and he falls to the ground bleeding. It may have just been his arm, but it cut real deep. He's going to need medical attention. And of course the brothers get distracted. And they allow Shredder to get away. That moment of hesitation is all Shredder needed in order to disappear into the night like the ninja that he is. But you ever wonder what's on that other side? What's on the other side of that rope? Well, Shredder finds out that his rescue was ordained not by Cobblepot, the Penguin. It was ordained by another man, the Demon's Head, the master of his own shadow organization, the League of Shadows. And his name, of course, is Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul, depending on what dialect you speak. And now he has a proposition, an offer, and he is his new partner in their new endeavors. But what will those be? Will Raph be okay? Will they be able to save him in time? And what evil schemes do the Demon's Head and his new partner Shredder have cooked up? Well, we'll find out the next time. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Yeah.